exercise your common sense about what just took place in our country.
Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Thursday, February 11th, 2021. Welcome to day 23. First up is day 3 of Trump's second Senate impeachment trial. The House impeachment managers prosecuting Trump rested their case, saying that if Trump is not convicted, it would set a new, terrible standard for presidential misconduct. The managers used their final day of arguments to show how the insurrectionists, using his specific words, carried out the attack on the Capitol at Trump's direction, warning that Trump could incite more violence if he is not convicted. Managers also focused on Trump's history of celebrating violence and his lack of remorse following the January 6th insurrection, as a demonstration of why he should be convicted and barred from ever holding federal office again.
Senators, America, we need to exercise our common sense about what happened. Let's not get caught up in a lot of outlandish lawyers' theories here. Exercise your common sense about what just took place in our country.
Now that the Democrats have made their case, Trump's defense team will have a chance to begin their arguments against conviction starting tomorrow. Trump's defense is not expected to use all 16 hours of their allotted time for presentations, and instead plans to finish its arguments in the Senate's impeachment trial by Friday night. A verdict could come as early as the weekend. Democrats need at least 17 Senate Republicans to join them in voting to convict Trump. Moving on, the Biden administration secured deals for another 200 million doses of the coronavirus vaccine, increasing the available supply by 50%. Biden promised last month to purchase the additional 200 million doses, 100 million from Pfizer and another 100 million from Moderna. The additional doses are expected to be delivered and available this summer. Biden also rescinded Trump's national emergency declaration over the U.S. Mexico border. In February 2019, Trump used the emergency proclamation to redirect billions of dollars for construction of a wall along the southern border. Meanwhile, senior Justice Department officials in 2020 repeatedly tried to block a search warrant for Rudy Giuliani's records related to his activities in Ukraine. While career Justice Department officials supported the search warrant, which was related to whether Giuliani had illegally lobbied the Trump administration on behalf of Ukrainian officials and oligarchs who had helped him look for dirt on Biden in 2019, political appointees raised concerns that the warrant would be issued too close to the election. Prosecutors tried again after the election, but political appointees at the Justice Department wouldn't approve the warrant because Trump was still contesting the election, which was being led by Giuliani. And finally, USA Today says a new report found roughly 40% of coronavirus deaths in the United States could have been prevented if the nation's average death rate matched other industrialized nations. The Lancet Commission on Public Policy and Health in the Trump era faulted Trump's inept and insufficient response to COVID-19 for the current death rate, saying his actions caused a lot of citizens to fail to take it seriously and interfered with the kind of coordinated response they have been able to use in a lot of countries that are more successful than the U.S. in controlling the epidemic. The report also said the attempts by Trump to weaken the Affordable Care Act caused 2.3 million more Americans to become uninsured, which doesn't include those who lost their health coverage during the pandemic. And in the polls, New York Times says 66% of Republicans still believe Biden's election was not legitimate. 65% of Americans overall do view Biden's victory as legitimate. NPR says 39% of Republicans agree that violence may be necessary to achieve political goals, while 31% of independents and 17% of Democrats say they support taking violent actions if elected leaders do not defend the country. And Religion News Service says 29% of Republicans believe the debunked QAnon conspiracy theory that states that a group of government officials secretly worked to undermine the Trump administration. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.